Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to another Egg Timer podcast.
In today's podcast, we're covering the live-action movie of An Ominous Noise.
And if you're lucky, you've already heard our anime review for Anonymous Noise.
Yes.
And once again, the movie adaptation ignores everything that happened in the anime and the manga and tries to give a more dramatic telling.
Yes.
Nino is still in love with a boy named Momo, who disappeared 6 years ago, and a boy named Yuzu is now competing with Momo for Nino.
Yes.
And she searches for him by singing, hoping will lead him back to her. However, things don't go any way they did in the anime.
No, it's entirely different. It almost acts like live-action Oron.
Yes.
And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click notification bells to get some future podcasts and we'll pause videos.
Or like live-action Cowboy Bebop.
Oh,
it doesn't follow it at all.
Yeah, it really doesn't. No matter what they do, it's still wrong. At first, maybe the first 5 minutes, it looks like it's gonna start off with it. It started off with them being kids, because the anime didn't even do that. So it was like, okay.
So that was a plus.
Right. And then it gets started, and then they're trying to be deep. They're really trying to be deep with this movie. They have where she has more of anxiety or triggering when she does the singing. Momo and Yuzu almost look like the exact same person now, and they act like the exact same person. Why'd you get two different people at this point? It was like...
But Yuzu looks nothing like Yuzu. And here's the funny thing. About 3/4 of the way through this movie, this guy comes on screen. And you look, you go, wait a minute, that's Yuzu. He's got the same hairstyle. He looks like the anime character. Mm-hmm. He's got long lashes. He's short. It's like, why didn't you cast this guy as Yuzu?
Right.
Why'd you cast the total opposite of him? There's your Yuzu right there.
Right. Now for starters, Mom found this video on YouTube. They actually had the full live-action movie on there. We didn't even know it existed.
You should visit this channel. It's called PUAA, P-U-A-A, in small or lowercase letters.
Yes.
And they have a plethora of different anime, live-action adaptations, series, and be sure to subscribe to them because they are giving you just a wealth of things to enjoy that you normally wouldn't. Right.
So with this one, I was really excited to see it because she also read some comments about how it ended. Well, the comments unfortunately were more baity. It didn't happen, but still what we saw was unbelievable.
Yes.
It reminded me a lot of live action Oran, where we did like that it tried to act like the anime for the most part, even putting effort into making the cartoony like effects and the sounds and being off the wall. But over halfway through the film, Oran stopped being a comedy and it was more of a drama. It was serious. It was no longer a rom-com. We didn't like that. An Ominous Noise,
about 20 minutes in, stops too.
Yeah, and yes, we know it is a rom-com still. It's still a drama. It's still like a little more like a dramedy.
But it's no longer a rom-com.
Yeah, it's not funny at any point in the movie after a few lines. While the anime was mostly a drama, it did have hilarious lines, yes, hilarious scenes, and one guy was just barrel of laughs. But now they were taking it so seriously that it was just them talking to each other, a performance or two here and there, really low-key, rivalry. She didn't really scream that much. She just kind of sang, and it was normal singing. It was just like any sort of emotion or things you laughed at, it's just gone.
And the point of calling Anonymous Noise was lost because, again, if she's singing melodically, then it's no longer noise.
Right.
So they kind of defeated the entire purpose of the movie, like they tend to do in almost every live-action anime adaptation.
Right.
This one, it just went ahead and followed the formula.
Right.
But the good thing, there are a few good things. One, Momo did look like Momo.
Yes, pretty much exact.
Two, as we mentioned, they did have some backstory that didn't happen in the anime. And the two kids they chose to be Momo and Nino as children were really cute.
Yes.
And it was a really sweet part. That was the sweetest, most romantic part of this entire movie.
Yes.
Was that scene where the two kids go to the beach holding hands and they're talking and professing, I love you, and blah, 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 at 10 years old. That was the sweetness. That was the romance.
Right.
And after that, it just disappeared.
Right. Another thing to point out is that the actor they got playing Yuzu is too tall.
Yes.
Just like they're doing the comic being where Hori is now way taller than everyone else. And here Yuzu is tall as everyone else, but he's still drinking the milk. It's like, well,
what's
clearly,
the point?
It's like, well, I guess the milk worked in this version because now he grew, he's tall,
but
and
he doesn't have the beautiful eyelashes.
they keep saying he does.
But he doesn't.
It's like, oh, eyelashes. Like, what eyelashes? I can't see them.
And then in the anime, you have the dynamic that ends up growing between Momo and Yuzu. And in the anime, they don't know that that's the Momo that Nino's talking about. And that's the Yuzu that Nino's talking about. They're oblivious. And they just totally cut that out here. It's gone. They have a jam session, which wasn't needed,
like
and was
multiple
totally
times.
stupid. I'm sorry. It was unnecessary.
Yeah.
And then very quickly they find out who the other one is. It's like there's no build-up. There's no suspense. Everything that made this interesting in the anime has been totally obliterated from the live-action movie.
Right. And then these sort of, as you still love, triangle, rhombus, whatever, they immediately cut that out.
Yeah.
They have a shortcut, and what they have a shortcut, and what they do is the girl likes Yuzu. What we already mentioned in the other podcast is there's a blonde guy in the group that likes her, and the thing is that he says it, then he kind of takes it back, saying Miyu. Okay, and then he kind of takes it back and says it's a joke. It's like, oh, okay. And then a minute later, you find out he wasn't joking, but he doesn't know really how to really come out and say it. And here, he's not a jokester at all. He flat out just tells her, I like you. Quit going after Yuzu.
And
Take me.
I want you to be mine.
Yeah, forget Yuzu. Just take me. And she's like, oh, it's a joke. And he just it's played straight the whole time, which really took kind of the fun out of it because you kind of wondered for a second and then like, oh, it's not.
Right.
So they kind of ripped that out and just said straightforward, just let him be with her. And then you have the...
And here, the parents are also left out.
Right.
The drama you had in the anime that showed you the relationships and things that were going on at home and how this manifested into their personalities and how they were interacting with each other, all gone.
Yeah.
All gone. And the last thing that really is irritating about this movie is that in the anime, it was a great idea. We forgot to mention that they hid their identity so no one knew who they are. They wore costumes from Alice in Wonderland. They wore eye patches. They wore wigs. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the boy was dressed as the girl, mm-hmm. and the vocals were done and he lip synced. Mm-hmm. When Alice came, she took that place and she was the actual girl doing her anonymous noise singing. Well, in here, she goes on top of the school and starts singing out in perfect melody for all to see, and everybody knows who she is, and everybody sees her, and then they turn around and dress back in the costumes for what reason? We all know who the hell you are. Why are you wearing the costumes?
My worst part was that, in the end, she chooses Yuzu in the movie. Like, in the other one, she wanted Momo no matter what. We don't know if that changes at the end of the manga. It's possible. But here, without warning, she chooses Yuzu. That's who she ends up with. The end. And they're like, why? There's no connection.
Exactly. There's no reasoning whatsoever. You're watching this. You can go, okay, we see why she chose Yuzu. You don't know why. You don't know why she wanted Momo, except for what happened when they were 10. You don't know why she wanted Yuzu. You don't know why she picked him. He has no personality here whatsoever, at least in the anime. Yeah, he's kind of a jerk. Yeah, he's kind of gruff. But when you find out what's going on in his home life, then you kind of understand, you know, this is what's happening with him. This is how he's dealing with it and handling it. And here he has no personality. And here Yuzu has no personality. And here Nino has no personality.
No!
So, you know, if you want a laugh or you just want to see what happens versus the anime, we say go ahead, look it up on YouTube. Go to Pua, P as in Paul, U as an umbrella, A as an apple, A as an apple. Give it a watch and enjoy it. But if you're watching it for an adaptation or for something you really want this high quality, anonymous noise, live action movie is not it. But it's great to watch for entertainment.
Yes, pretty much.
Now, if you've seen this, let us know what you think in the comments below. What are your thoughts? We really love to know.
Yes, and if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and weekly videos on your favorite anime series, animated shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely.
And more live action adaptations that should not be existing.
That's correct.
So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.